kind of weird. And I don't know if it's because of the big hype of the mayor run, like the mayoral election, or if it's the big hype of the presidential election. You know what I'm saying,
Gotcha.
Kim?
Yeah.
So, yeah, y'all ask questions. I'm here. We got a good half hour, and I'm gonna be here answering questions for you guys. Um, but I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna shoot the breeze about us being more proactive when it comes down to this election. You know, I think we have to um, become more engaged, and I'm talking about from every aspect, from every generation. No one's exempt because I get calls and I get complaints from a lot, not just from the boomers. I get it from Generation X, millennials. You know what I'm saying? Even the young kids, they got something to say. You know what I mean about the things that they want to see. Um, when you hit the age of 18, you should be out there voting when it comes time to vote. Um, what else? Pay attention. Start coming out. Me and Frank, we talk about it a lot too. Um, the community needs to start becoming more active at city council meetings locally.
You valid. Valid.
Because at the end of the day, it's like we become ignorant when this time comes.
Facts. Yeah.
We got a lot of people that's gonna be out here passing out palm cards.
Yeah.
They're gonna be shaking hands and kissing babies. They gonna, you know,
No
they're
doubt.
gonna be out there, you know, doing a lot of campaigning
Oh
in communities that they haven't been near for the last 4 years or for the beginning of their term.
yeah. Barely drove
Barely drive through, don't care about what's going on in that community,
through.
but they're gonna be out here at your barbecues. You know what
Popping
I'm
up.
saying? Popping up.
Unwanted.
Man, you got a candidate that pretty much shut the whole community out almost his whole term. This is me speaking on what I'm speaking on, and then people know. Listen, I said I don't know if people thought that. I don't know if people paid attention or got the memo, but I said I'm gonna say what I gotta say. So when you have a mayor that has been absent for the first 20 months of his whole term, and we gave him that pass because of COVID, who hasn't really done much in that portion, and then when he finally decided to break his silence, he calls multiple special meetings and keeps the people out, and basically kicks the voice of the people out.
Oh
And
nah.
every special meeting this man called, he didn't allow the public to speak. That's your money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's your support.
that's your right.
Like
Listen,
that's wild.
if I told you, hey, bruh, I'm gonna be spending your money. No, there's some money that I'm gonna spend of yours. You really ain't got it's pretty much in my hands,
Right.
and it's gonna affect you. And I really don't even care about how it affects you.
Fact. I
I,
don't
I
even care about your opinion.
no, right. I don't care about how it affects you. Um, but and I'm going to. There are meetings where you can express to me how it affects you, but I'm not going to show up to those meetings. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call my own special meetings. Um they're not absolutely, you ain't lying about that too. Who's bringing them into these community and our churches and cookouts too? I'm not uh so in the meetings that I call, I'm not going to allow you to tell me
Okay.
how it affects you.
Right. Right. Uh,
And then I'm not going to show up to the meetings where you can tell me how it affects you. I have a problem with that.
big problem.
I have a big problem with that. And so for me, and then I'm gonna start showing up in the last couple of months of the year because next year is my campaign, and I'm gonna start acting like I care. My problem is we vote ignorant. We vote out of ignorance. and I'm talking about the literal definition of the word, where we're not aware of how who we're voting for. We vote name recognition, and I'm not picking on him, but I'm just gonna say it because of the fact that I know who his brother is. So John Spanbauer, you know, I knew Spanbauer's because my gym teacher was Mr. Spanbauer. That was his brother. So it was one of those things where it's like, oh, he's a Spanbauer. I know Mr. Span. He's a cool dude, and we vote off of, oh, they family cool, man. But if you don't stand and come and see how people are representing or misrepresenting you, then these years come by and you just like, okay, and you're depending solely on this campaign. That's the part that baffles me. You can't depend on this campaign. You can't depend on what somebody's telling you in a half a year, because the first portion is they're just trying to get signatures. Starting next month is basically we're getting signatures to try to get on the ballot to try to work towards the primary. It ain't gonna be a whole lot of door knocking. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a whole lot of it's not gonna be a whole lot of real engagement, you know. But what is gonna happen is that you're gonna get, people who are basically trying to, manipulate the system, try to
Right.
get into little, again, get into the churches, find an event that's gonna take place, shake some hands. Be careful of the cameras too, fellas and ladies and gentlemen. Be careful of the cameras because you're gonna find people with their phones and whatnot. So you'll see candidates running around and coming to your events or whatnot. They'll come when it's that time, and then they see them talking to you, and then you see somebody off to the side with a camera taking pictures of y'all interaction,
Right.
and next thing you know, that's on their Facebook page. This is the stuff that we see. So my thing is that hmm, so being that we see that and we know that this is a trick, or this is the pile of tricks
Yeah.
of it, right? Or pile of tricks that they use. We need to be more aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think make it make sense. How you feel about the political
Um,
arena?
I'm not really a political guy.
Mhm.
I I know what it is.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like you said, it's a bunch of baby kissing and picture
right,
taking and all that whatnot. But like nobody's really genuine about the people that they're asking to vote for them. You know what
right,
I'm saying? So I vote, but it's not really
right.
ideal.
I tell you what it is. I think for me, and this is how I look at it, it's like it's best to what they say biblically. You know those by the fruit that they bear,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
My thing is this. Because I'm putting this out now. So of course, y'all don't have the time to really, because right now everybody's on their best behavior.
Oh, valid.
Everybody is, how they say, when you grade in your own paper, you always gonna get an A. Everybody getting an A plus right now, right? Because everybody is you know does their civic duty, and everybody
No,
is
right.
everybody loves everybody and cares so much about our city, and they're gonna talk about those words: transparency, accountability, and responsibility, and all of that. Now that's what I ran on.
Yeah, yeah.
Thing about it is this: people see me at the end of this first year and they say, you know what? Dante has not changed his stripes. The same thing that he said he was going to run on, he's still running, and he's
Yes.
still being that representation for us.
Absolutely.
He cares, you know what I'm saying? And he's not, it wasn't just a, hold on just a second, Roger. There we go. So it's not that, for me, I was serious about what I ran on. You know what I mean? Again, I had a grassroots campaign. I had a campaign that had, the people in mind.
Right.
I had a campaign that wasn't ran by a machine, that wasn't ran by a party. I didn't get a whole lot of party support.
Yeah.
I had support from people who are in the party. Let me just put it that way. I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna I'm not gonna say the party crapped on me. I'm gonna say people who are in the party who actually um, were okay with investing in my vision for our city.
Yeah.
They supported me, but I didn't get no. I didn't have no party support.
Gotcha.
Um, you know, uh, I didn't have any special interest groups um, on my campaign running it either. So with all that being said, when I got in, I owed no man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
didn't
Right.
owe anybody.
Right.
I ain't owe nobody no favors. I don't do favors.
Nobody's puppet.
Nobody's puppet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I vote from a clear conscience, and I talk to the people. I talk to the people, and 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 I fight for the people. You know what I mean? And the true story is that a lot of what I have to be in my seat, and I still got 3 more years. So for those of you who may not know, um, I I don't need no votes this year. So everything that I'm saying is not a campaign. Everything that I'm saying is not politics as far as a campaign trail. And you
Yeah.
know, right now for me, everything that I do, I'm doing it because we need better. We need better. We need better for all of the city of Niagara Falls, not just certain bureaus, not just certain areas, not just the hidden pockets that are protected. There are areas that have been neglected for a long time. So be careful. Please be careful of not taking the bait that they throw out during these campaign seasons. Look at their track records. Dig up their history. Don't just go off of their word.
Just
Because there's
research.
people out here like I've been out here. I've been in the community. I've been in these streets, and there's people that won't take my word for it.
No, valid.
You're not
Yeah.
gonna you're not gonna take my word for it, but you're gonna take somebody who is just
Who you never
brand new.
really
You
seen.
never knew. You never met. They're not around you,
Yeah.
and you just okay. Well, he said this. Oh, he seems like a nice guy. Oh, he came to this event. Oh, yeah, they're gonna come to the event because they
Need
want your vote.
valid.
Please, 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 family, please. Let's see here. Now, listen. We got 10 more minutes. I'm here for questions. Here for questions or comments as well. Let me see here. I want to make sure I ain't missing nothing. All right.
Frank said I need signatures.
Come on, Frank. Come on, Frank. Oh, okay, yeah. No, we up there. Okay, yeah. Let me, cause I gotta see what anything up there. All right, now those are three. Okay, I want to make sure. Hey, listen. I see everybody on here. We got 10 minutes. All I'm saying is don't take the bait when it comes down to these politicians that have not been around. Check their track record. Make sure that and watch this. Stop giving. Oh, I'm glad I. Thank you, Lord. I am so glad I thought about this just now. Stop giving blind support. You got candidates who are coming to you asking you for support with empty promises and nothing on paper. Stop giving that blind support. So, okay, well, you want our support? Okay, let's get a collaboration of people throughout the community. Yeah, pop out of the woodworks. You ain't lying, Jill. And get a collaboration of people throughout the different portions of our community and say, okay, well, you want our support. We're not going to put your t-shirts on. We're not putting your sign in our yard. We're not doing none of that. Let's see what you're going to do for us.
Yeah.
Let's see what you're going to do for our portion of the community that we've been screaming for the last, I don't know how many years or how many decades that y'all been ignoring. Let's see what you're going to do for our community. Sit down with us and let's put some stuff in ink. And guess what? And we ain't doing nothing until that ink dry. Until then, like blind support is not something that I'm even nowhere near interested in, and I'm going to be behind certain people who go into these portions of the community. And let me keep it 100 with you. It's not black and white.
No.
It's not a black or a white thing. It's the have and the have-nots. And I don't mind. And I said this many times. I'm not like fight. I'm not here to take away or chop the legs off of the haves. Keep having.
Keep having.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep having, keep prospering. It's just that I want to make sure that there is equity in City Hall as well. Make sure that those who have been neglected let's make sure that these areas are restored. That's all. That's all. So we can have a whole healthy Niagara Falls. I've been to Bahamas, right,
Yeah.
on a cruise, and it was beautiful, right? When I tell you it was a beautiful place, right? Got to the waters, and once we docked, and it was like, man, this was amazing. All the tourism portion of it just nice and clean, like everywhere. And I got into this. They told us, yeah, don't use the local taxis, do the ferries and all that other stuff. I'm like, no, I want to go to the common parts.
Yeah.
I want to see where they. I want to eat what they eat. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
So I got
absolutely.
into one of the kind of beat down joints, and the man that was driving us, I said, yeah, take us over to. I want a full fledged. He took us to like kind of like the casual parts, the little slightly less than casual that will look kind of like our Niagara Falls area.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Then he went to some kind of really upscale portions where it's like one of the most richest restaurants in the world
Got
type
you.
situation. Then he took us to this spot after we got done eating, and he took us to this beach. Then he took us to like this place that looked like some of the worst poverty that I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about real huts.
Got you. Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about what we see here in the city.
Right. What they glamorize on TV.
Right, they see on TV. Right, and I'm not talking. Our poverty here
Nothing.
is nothing in comparison, right?
Nothing.
Because I'm talking about literal huts, not even the size of this room, almost barely.
From that post
From to
that
this,
wall.
and you got the families that live in this, right? I seen that, right? And then less than maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes of a drive, we're back at the tourist area.
Oh wow. So it ain't too far.
It's not far.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my, I had my camera, I have a video. And I seen it with my own eyes. I'm driving. I was like, wow, this is horrible. And he's talking and we're talking, and all of a sudden he goes down this little dip, and then we're back in this area. I'm like, I said, how? He said, that's just how it is. They build up the tourist area.
Yeah.
And the areas that's like, not too far away from it. That's why they tell you to take the trolleys.
Yeah.
That's what I could see that happening in Niagara Falls, because we built so much up in this one corner over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we forget about everywhere else. But we got the falls. Hey, and take the Niagara, New York State trolley or whatever, so it can take you around. Let's go around and then go into Lewiston and go down there and see all of that area. And then go around to the other side, and then we can hit the Niagara Falls Boulevard and go do all of our shopping and And then we're gonna take you to the casino, and then we're gonna go back to your hotel.
Fact. Don't look at the inner city.
Don't look at the inside of the city.
Fact. That's crazy.
And that's literally what they was telling us. Like, don't look at the city. You know what I'm saying? Oh, is that a caller? I don't know. Let's see.
Fire 716, Kev on there speaking.
Okay, we don't, but hey, we here. So listen, that's what we it's not far fetched for that to happen here.
Absolutely. The only difference is our way of living isn't like theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm
Just a
saying?
different culture, different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so for my thing is this: we can't vote ignorant. We can't continuously not hold people accountable. Show up at these meetings. Challenge. Listen, come challenge me.
Valid.
Come challenge.
As well as you know him.
Listen,
as well as we know Dante. Challenge him, man.
Please come challenge me. Please challenge me. Come hold me accountable.
Valid.
Because if you holding me accountable, and I'm talking about in my workplace, all that Facebook trying to be thumb thugs and keyboard warriors. At the end of the day,
Valid.
Doing that is not gonna. That's not a challenge for me, because you're only talking to 20% of a vote. I always say that. Challenge me by coming to where I work,
Valid.
City Hall, while I'm out there and I'm saying what I gotta say and talking about what I gotta talk about. Put the challenge on me. Hold me accountable there, as per what it is that we're supposed to do while we're in City Hall.
Yeah. If you want to chime in, call in 716-299-0013. That's 716-299-0013. Call in, give your opinions, chop it up with Dante.
Absolutely. I matter of fact, I'll give an extra 10 minutes.
No doubt.
And but like what I'm telling y'all, I'm listening. So that means y'all got about a good 15 minutes and then I gotta go. But chime in.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about like our local elections and what are we willing to do to change change the dynamics? Hey, is that here we go.
Oh.
That got a speaker on it?
Fire 716. It's Kev on there speaking.
There we go.
There you go.
Greetings, family. What's up? What's happening? How you living?
Great.
I was just listening in. I'm on my way out of town, but I think that this is a time. I like what Dr. said recently, just about being able to make sure that we are able even to check him, that he's not exempt from
The checking.
the checking,
No fact.
which is something you need to know. That you need to know, like nobody's exempt from being checked or being questioned. Because we got to know, but it's important that we just know what's happening and know what's going on in the politics, especially now, because so much stuff is being affected, and it's just crazy.
Yes, sir.
So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I appreciate you, good brother Frank, and you know, and he's a powerhouse too, man. Yeah, keep your eyes and your ears open for Big Frank Hanley, um, and I want us all to pretty much embrace that the youth too as well. You know what I mean? Embrace these young people to let them know that they actually have a space and a place in City Hall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And especially when you have somebody in there that's willing to fight for them.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Um, if the people don't begin to become more consistently engaged, if the people don't become more consistently engaged, I can't promise that I'm gonna run again.
Got you. Got you.
I can't make that promise. I told them now this is my first year, and we got a few people that are consistent, but we could do a whole lot better. Um, don't wait till the campaign year, 2025. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's when my term is up.
Right. Right.
If people, cause see what happens is people sometimes they wait and they last minute they'll be like, oh, Dante, it's time for him to run again. You know, oh yeah, let's become more supportive. I'm like,
Right,
yo, where
right.
were you the last 3 years?
Valid. Yeah.
And
I
if-
could have been doing work.
Yeah,
No.
that's the thing. Like, if I could get the support that I need to help move our city forward now,
Right.
like I got my hands and stuff that's really trying to really move the city forward and boost the morale. But what happens is I'm not gonna be doing this whole, uh, you know, grinding my gears like a doggone rat wheel,
Yeah.
running, and then all of a sudden, I don't, I'm beating my head against the wall for 3 years, and then the fourth year it's election season again. It's Dante's seat is up, so we need him in there. Somebody just came to me recently and was like, "Yeah, thank you for doing what you're doing. I just wanted to let you know we want you to just stay in there." I said, "What? What?
Yeah.
Stay in there?" I said, "Let me tell you." And then I ended up having a small group of people
Got you.
kind of gathering
Gather
around
around.
when I said it. And I'm like, oh, well, then listen good since y'all here. I said, if the people are not engaged, if I don't get engagement from the people, if we can't get the people out to vote to get the right people in,
Yeah.
when it comes down, we got 2 seats that's coming up, and there are 2 people that I am firmly supporting for our city council, and I will make that known once they announce exactly who they are. And there's a person that I'm praying for as the mayoral seat. At the end of the day, if we can't get that portion changed, and if you think that I'm gonna be that lone ranger that's sitting in there with all odds stacked against me, and a mayor and his administration and a majority council that has all type of different ideas that goes against the fiber, the moral fiber of making our city better. If you think that I'm gonna go again to try to stay there just so you can have a face,
Right.
but you're not gonna come and actually be a part of. When I make sure, I always make sure. Honestly, I always tell people, listen, stay engaged, come, be, show up, bring your friend, I bring my kids.
What?
Nobody has any excuses. I ain't got no babysitter. If you ain't got, listen, if you can take, we do what we want to do. Let me keep that 100.
Right, yeah.
I'm about to tell it just exactly how it is. We do what we want to do. We spend money on what we want to spend money on, and we spend time on what we want to spend time on. We go where we want to go. So the time for excuses is out. I'm not doing any excuses. At the end of the day, this is what it is. What it is that Dante is not going to be is not going to be allowing myself to be beat up politically and have my life on public scrutiny, because when you out here as a public figure, everybody like watching every little move and all of that. Yo, at the end of the day, I'm a solid cat anyway, so I don't have nothing to hide. Anything that goes with me, listen, I'm fine. I don't worry about that. What I'm saying is that I have kids. At the end of my term, my kids are going to be 13 and 16. Do you think those critical periods of their lives, like right now, it's 10. I got a double digit and a 13-year-old right now. In these critical times of their life, do you think that I'm going to allow myself to get so caught up in politics or their pile of tricks or politics,
Right.
and take those precious years away?
Not at all.
16. So that means I run again. That means at the end of my second term, my daughter will be 20 years old. Like, nah, I'm gonna need a little bit more. I'm gonna need a little bit more from the people here. I'm gonna need a little bit more from uh, uh, different agencies, different, these non for profits. I need them to step up. And when I say non for profit, I'm talking about all of them. Talking about the churches and everybody, because most of the people that complain to me
Our church.
are church folk and people who are dealing in these non for profits, and they have a legit complaint. But the problem is nobody want to stand up.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm just saying, stand up. You ain't even got to do what I did 3-4 years prior to me first running. 3 or 4 years prior to me first running, I was at that podium beating it,
Gotcha.
holding them boys accountable and gals at that time. 2016, I was in City Hall. So I didn't just start running and just decide, wake up one morning, oh, I think I'm gonna be a city council. No. I was putting in that work at that podium a long time ago. Prior to, I wasn't my whole life. I won't lie, but once we're accountable for what we know. Once I knew and understood that I had a voice and I can actually express some things, and I became a normal. A
Absolutely.
lot of times they didn't like the fact that I even showed up. They hated when I showed up. You know what I mean? They hated it, but I'm like, hey, this is what you're gonna get this work.
Absolutely. Get
So,
that pressure, man.
Put the pressure. I heard Frank say a few times, pressure, apply pressure.
All 2023, man, for sure.
So that's a big thing, and we got to make it a culture of a pressure applying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Applying pressure culture. Like, no one's gonna slide in. No one's gonna come through easy. No one's
Yeah.
gonna just get the free ride into our political spaces of decision making.
Valid.
And this title, I thank people for the support to vote me in, but honestly, this title doesn't mean anything to me. As far as a title, the greater the title, the greater the service.
Oh, man.
It's about, I'm supposed to be. This is a servant position. Some people think they're dictators and stuff. They think, oh, I control. Man, listen, no.
That's not the case.
And I do not take the bait during this doggone campaign season. There are people who are going to be campaigning. There's a person who campaigned back in 2019 that's going to campaign again. At the end of the day, honestly, being completely honest, and especially, let me just call it what it is, especially in our African American community portions, people will find themselves doing the same trickery. Don't tell me that you care about the people, but half of your, well, again, like I said, 20 months out of your term, you were quiet as a mouse. And I'm talking about, and I've gotten that message from all sides of the city. I'm talking about from DeVoe to LaSalle to Cayuga. These are people that were like, where is our mayor? So, and we gave a pass. We gave him the pass because it was COVID. But he won't give people like, Blue Cardinal the pass who acquired their buildings around the same time he got elected, that same year. But they had their building since 2019. How come they're not doing nothing? Well, you weren't doing nothing for 20 months. So take 20 months out of that for them as well.
Right. Yep.
It's a lot of stuff that I keep it 100 with you. But then when you finally break silence, then you begin to call multiple special meetings without a podium for people to speak. So you want to block the people out.
Right.
So don't tell me this year that you care about the people and their voices and what they think, because that's a lie. And that's what I'll be behind you saying once you get done telling that lie.
Yeah.
Because you'll go back into our same communities, these same, not just African American communities, but the same have and have nots. Because like I said prior to, it's not black and white. I'm not on that kind of time. I represent the whole city of Niagara Falls. But where there are holes in the city of Niagara Falls, I'm literally willing to try to do what I got to do to patch those up first. Because at that point, what they say, a rising tide floats all boats. That's a saying. But if the boat has a hole in it, that boat won't float. So all of these well-to-do areas that don't have any holes in their boat, they're fine. I'm not worried about that. That's not my problem. If your house is on fire and the house next door to you is not, then I need to squirt the house that's on fire. Although both houses matter, guess what? This one is on fire, so this one needs water. That's how it is. Special areas in our city needs water.
Yeah.
Because portions of our city is on fire. But this is the part that we all need to be more educated in. And when I say educated, be more engaged. Come to the city council meetings. I will post the meetings. Next week, we have a meeting on next Wednesday. Show up. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I've been saying it.
It's time out for going to Facebook about your complaints.
Right. Because
it's time out for talking amongst each other and just talking. Like it's time for action.
Absolutely. And now's the best time.
Valid. And only people that know the problems in the city are the people in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The mayor don't come through the city.
No.
The other officials don't come through the city. So it's like only people that's gonna highlight that are you. So if you don't voice your opinions, you won't be heard.
Absolutely. So, and that's you're right, cousin. I've been saying that forever. I've been saying it for a long time. And the people in power should never outweigh the power of people.
Valid.
That's my go-to. So here's the thing. Share this. Next week, I think we're going to continue this same dialogue. Get your questions. I know sometimes what happened because I kind of sprung this on us at the last minute. Because so I just got off of a meeting from my job, and then I came here, and then I'm getting ready to hit the funeral. Honestly, I'm gonna keep this going next week. So, but share it with, and get your questions together. If you got questions right now, get those questions together. And so next week, I don't know. He might have we'll improvise.
No, valid.
So you'll be able to call in, and we'll put the number up, and we'll get all that. Get your questions together. Get your people together. I seen about 12 on here at once, and it kind of fluctuates a little bit. Get your questions. Get your people together. Have them tune in next week. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we keep the fire on. Let's see here. I will be at the meeting next. Thank you. Absolutely. and I appreciate that. And got to keep the fire, got to keep the pressure. Okay. So with that being said, thank you guys for coming in and tuning in. I'm sorry, I really have to go. I normally give y'all extra little change, but right now I gotta go. I got a funeral that I gotta be to, so that's a commitment. You're right about it, Mom. It's time to leave. But however, again, highlight the fact that we need to be more proactive. The people in power should never outweigh the power of people, right? And so with that being said, tune in. Don't forget, download the Fire 716 app, please, and stay in touch. You know what I mean? Keep an open line, and you can still comment after this, because once my day calms down a little bit, I'm gonna come back here, and I'm gonna actually get set up, and not here. I'm gonna come back to this video, and I'm gonna check all of the questions. I'm gonna go on Fire 716 as well and check the questions and stuff there, and I'm gonna be answering questions there as well. Until next week, next Thursday at 11, you'll be able to tune in again at the Vote. This is your guy, Councilman Miles / D Belly Production. I'll holler back at you. Thanks again, Kev, for rocking it out with me today.
Doubt, brother.
Absolutely.
Available.